Ja, hallo und herzlich willkommen zurück bei Star Trek Resurgence. Und heute setzen wir fort mit der Episode Nummer 1.
The Titan's communications officer says Captain Riker will be ready in just a moment. You need to see this. The report on the data breach.
Damn. It's worse than I'd hoped. They didn't just compromise our shields.
Ja,
They stole the shield algorithms for all of Starfleet as well. Meaning every ship is potentially vulnerable to attack. Making this so much worse than it already was.
okay, das müssen wir die Sternenflotte auf jeden Fall wissen lassen.
Given the potential consequences, we should notify Starfleet as soon as possible.
I don't disagree, but I'll reach out to Ambassador Spock about it. I don't want to cause a panic. And I doubt he does either.
Was hat das mit Panik zu tun? Die Sternenflotte sind doch alles
Captain
Profis.
Riker for you.
Let's not mention any of this shield business to Riker just yet. Put him through. Captain Riker, this is my first officer,
Cool.
Commander Jara Rydek.
My pleasure.
Sir,
I wish we were all meeting under better circumstances.
Er sieht ein bisschen aus, als wäre er in den Jungbrunnen gefallen, oder?
So do I, although you and I have actually met before.
We have.
I was a young lieutenant on the Potemkin. You were first officer on the Tuckerman. I piloted you and our science officer in a shuttle to survey quantum resonance in the planetary rings of Residius 6.
Oh, yes. Now I remember.
You know, he gave me some good advice that day about a very difficult job. Yours.
well, I'm not one to turn down some words of wisdom, sir.
And let me ask, as first officer on a starship, where does your responsibility lie, first and foremost? To the captain, the crew, or the ship itself?
Oh, this old chestnut. I am curious to hear what she says, though.
Ja, da bringst du mich wieder in eine schwierige Gewissensentscheidung. Fängt man so auch ein Gespräch an, wenn man sich gerade neu kennenlernt? So, Riker hat immer gesagt, der Captain. Tja, die Crew, das Schiff. Was bedeutet denn das Schiff? Das Schiff ist die Crew und der Captain. Die Crew ist aber auch das Schiff. Gut, der erste Offizier ist da. Also, wofür ist er da? Das wissen sie alle, wofür er da ist. Für den Captain, um diese Order auszuführen. Aber ich bin mir nicht sicher, ob er hier auf was anderes hinaus will. Vielleicht sage ich mal meine persönliche Meinung. Das ist eigentlich meine persönliche Meinung. Müsste ich drüber nachdenken. Wir haben aber beim Captain eh schon schlechte Karten, weil wir so oft gegen ihn entschieden haben. Also sage ich jetzt mal der Captain. Und ja, ob wir mit Riker irgendwie eine Beziehung aufbauen werden, das muss ich noch zeigen. Okay, sagen wir mal der Captain. Wie hättet ihr entschieden?
Is to support the captain, carry out his orders, and ensure his safety. Even if I disagree with him.
I like that. But the truth is, it's a trick question. Every situation is different, and there are no easy answers.
Das ist mir klar.
And in some cases, it might not be any of those three. It could be the prime directive. Or the mission.
Yes, so perhaps we should get to the matter at hand.
Genau, hör auf zu
When
schwatzen
you were
hier.
with the Enterprise, you encountered a Takan entity known as Portal 6-3. The Enterprise was held captive in orbit until you were able to convince him to let the ship go.
All of which is detailed in the mission report.
What we want from you is what we can't get from the report. What can we use to get Portal 6-3 to help us?
I've often thought about that over the years. How a small difference in the encounter could have led to disaster. The most important thing is, don't let him push you around. He can appear as a man or as a godlike projection. He'll test you. But don't be overwhelmed by the pageantry and theatrics.
Are you sure about that? I don't want to anger him.
No, you certainly do not. With a wave of his hand, he could clip your wings and cripple the Resolute. Portal is full of bluster and bravado, but he can be reasoned with. And that's my other piece of advice. You want to appeal to him rationally. You don't want him thinking you're acting out of fear.
But we are afraid of the Takan, and with good reason.
He's not the sort to suffer fools. And he'll lose interest if he feels his time is being wasted.
I suppose that's one thing we have in common.
Do you think he knows that the Takan have returned?
He didn't even know they were gone when we went there. But the moment the Enterprise dropped into orbit around Delphi Ardu 4, he downloaded the entirety of the ship's computer. So I'd expect the same when you get there.
What if he won't cooperate and we have to face these Takan ourselves?
Then we have a much bigger problem on our hands.
What I mean is, in the 16 years since you discovered this outpost, there has to have been research. Battle plans for what to do about the Takan if we encountered more of them. I need to know what they are.
If I had that answer, it would have been the first thing I told you.
We both know Command has had their share of hidden plans in the past. Like Admiral Hansen and Captain Shelby's Special Projects Division at Starfleet Tactical, devising new ways to take on the Borg.
Trust me, this isn't some Starfleet conspiracy to keep you in the dark. But if you two don't think you're equipped to make contact, you need to tell me now. Because there is no silver bullet here. Now's not the time to hesitate. I need to know you're up to this.
Were you equipped to meet Portal 6-3 all those years ago?
I'm here, aren't I?
Yes, you are. And we have the benefit of your experience on our side.
Fair enough.
Sehr gut. Können wir jetzt?
There was a special task force that considered the Takan, and I was part of it. But because there were no other signs of the Empire, we determined the best course of action was to create a restricted zone around the Delphi Ardu system. I have my concerns, but I'll clear the way with the brass for your travel into the restricted space. Just remember what I've told you. And it wouldn't hurt to read some Sun Tzu en route. Or Marcus Aurelius.
Anything else?
Machiavelli?
Your advice is well taken, Captain Riker. No matter what he throws at us, we'll stand up to this Takan Guardian.
I'm sure you will. Rest assured, the Federation is taking this threat very seriously. You won't be alone out there for too long.
Thank you, Captain Riker.
One more thing. Ambassador Spock said that Takan stole some data from your central computer. What's that all about?
We're still assessing the extent of the breach. Nothing to report as of right now.
That's it? Ambassador Spock suggested it was something more serious, which is why I'm asking.
Oh.
There was a lot of data stolen. A lot to sift through.
Yes, we're still making sure our assessment is accurate. We don't want to raise alarms unnecessarily.
I'd raise that alarm pretty loudly if I were you. There's a lot riding on this. And if it comes to it, the Titan and I will be ready to personally lend a hand in this fight.
Okay, er mit der
Let's hope
Titan.
it doesn't get that far.
Riker out.
Jetzt lieber wäre es
Thank
mir
you
gewesen, es
for
zu
not
sagen.
getting too specific with Riker about the data breach. Better we handle this ourselves, without all of Starfleet hearing about it.
What I don't understand is why you'd keep it from him. If you're going to tell Ambassador Spock, what's the difference?
This information will send a shockwave through the entire fleet. I'm sure Spock will agree. It should be compartmentalized on a strictly need-to-know basis. I have more research to do.
Need to know? Das sind ja wohl alle, die mit einem
Sure, the
Sternenflottenschiff unterwegs
ship's
sind.
computer has Sun Tzu in its library. Dismissed.
Mir gefällt nicht, wie der Captain so unterwegs ist. Ich weiß nicht, wie es euch da geht. Ich bin sehr skeptisch.
It's the automated Federation warning buoy. Transmitting the disable code Captain Riker provided.
That was
Was
unpleasant.
wäre passiert, wenn wir ohne Code da reingeflogen wären? Wahrscheinlich nichts, oder? Ich verstehe auch nicht, dass man sich damals, so wie Riker sagt, es gab zwar eine Taskforce zu den Tekon, aber da man keine Hinweise auf das Imperium finden konnte und dachte, sie wären alle tot, hat man sich nicht weiter damit beschäftigt und einfach hier nur so, ja, den Planet unter Quarantäne gestellt. Da hätte ja auch durchaus irgendeine andere Macht des Quadranten hinfliegen und sich, ja, der Technologie bemächtigen können. Vielleicht.
Systems operational.
Commander Westbrook, What are your scans of the planet?
Nothing out of the ordinary.
No sign of this outrageously powerful Takan being?
I'm running a magneton scan now, but so far, nothing.
Where are you?
Wo bist du? Irgendwo wird er sein.
Prep your way, team.
Er hängt doch wahrscheinlich auch von irgendeiner Technologie auf dem Planeten ab, also weit weg wird er wahrscheinlich nicht sein.
He's not an asset. He's an enemy. So be ready for anything.
Wir müssen bereit für alles sein, ja. Ich glaube, in der TNG-Folge war es auch haarscharf, dass was Schlimmes passiert wäre. Aber er hatte dann ein Einsehen.
Prove you're worth keeping alive for a little while longer.
I cannot stop this ship any more than you could stop the tides.
Not good enough.
The impotent threats of a lower life form do not sway me. I will not bend to you. I was born 600,000 years ago. But a new age dawns today.
Are you the scion of the flame?
My name is Zan Utlosa. I was born in the final days of the age of Makto. And we are all scions of the flame. Every one of us who have traveled across the bridge of time to be here for the Great Awakening. We have all sworn
Zeitreisen?
Eventually, one of you will break.
You don't understand how overmatched you truly are.
Aber wahrscheinlich meint er mit Zeitreisen, dass sie da genetisch in dieser Kapsel gespeichert worden sind. Nicht Zeitreisen im wahrsten Sinne, ne? Sonst hätten sie ja... Gut, lassen wir das. Das wird zu kompliziert. Zeitreisen machen nur Kopfschmerzen. Die es ja hier wohl nicht gibt.
Craft was nothing before we imbued it with the speed required by our mission. And the Cartabula produces enough energy to drive an entire fleet of ships like this one. But when we wake the Aphelion, we won't need a fleet.
The Aphelion?
Only then will you
Wollte ich gerade auch sagen, was ist das Aphelion? Was sind die Aphelion? Erzähl mir mehr.
This is just a drop in an ocean of power you cannot even imagine.
And when you wake the Aphelion, what are you going to do with it?
Anything we want.
Come on! This goes from bad to worse unless you do what they say.
Oh, das war vielleicht nicht so gut, ihn den Kristall berühren zu lassen.
It's coming alive.
You can't stop the ship.
Then he will. Or we cut off his hands and use them ourselves.
The moment I reduce speed or change our heading, the others will. First, they'll just resume course from elsewhere. Trivial matter. And then, they will come here. For you, this is a dead end.
That's a risk I'm willing to take.
Not if they're just going to start it again.
So you believe him?
I'm not sure.
Why would you tell us all this?
I tell you because I value my own life. When my fellow Scions come, and they will come, I expect you'll all act like the savages you are, and a battle wounds you. You've all died once. I don't intend to do so again. I won't touch those controls. If you want to get us killed, do it yourselves.
You fear death. There's a way to stop this ship for good, and he knows how. He just needs more pressure.
What kind of pressure?
We hurt him, he'll talk. Trust me.
That's against Starfleet
Was?
protocol.
Folter, weil er Angst vor
You're
dem
not
Tod
on a
hat?
Starfleet ship. Your protocol does not apply. We take the action that will lead to our victory. Don't assume your moral code takes precedence above all others.
I'm not gonna torture them. Not like this. There's gotta be something we can work with here.
Okay. Wir analysieren die Technologie selber und finden dann eine Lösung, ohne den Pappkameraden zu foltern. Wir hätten ihm natürlich auch mal den Arm brechen können, was geholfen hätte. Andere Frage.
Going this fast, it would be too dangerous to force a warp collapse by cracking one of the propulsion coils. I could rupture the hull. End up damaging the cartabula in the process.
That risks tearing a hole in space.
We can't have that.
Okay. Bei der Geschwindigkeit lieber nicht irgendwie an den Warpspulen rumfummeln.
This area here?
Power generation. The warp cores.
It's deserted.
Scheint keiner da zu sein. Warpkern.
What's this?
This display shows the location of the Tacon on the ship. This is where the infiltrators are. The central artery of ship systems. Sensors, propulsion, weapons. Doesn't seem to be working here.
Haben wir nicht Hydrazilgas oder sowas? Ich kann da nichts erkennen. Überall Punkte. Woran erkenne ich? Überall sind die Tacon. Außer hier, wo wir sind. Das ist aber wirklich seltsam. Und sie wissen angeblich nicht, dass wir hier... Also sie sind überall außer hier? Das ist wirklich extrem seltsam. Na, mal gucken. So, Analyze Engine Output.
Engine status. Right. The warp cores are still practically redlined. However they've supercharged the Zeldi, it still relies on existing systems.
They just amplify the output?
But the Tacon have already interfaced with those systems. The controls will be no use. So we'd have to find a way to manually shut down the warp cores.
Might not be a manual shutdown as much as it'll be sabotage.
No one appears to be guarding it. I think I can get us there. But once we're in, do you really think you can cripple my ship? Not something I'd normally ask. But I'm coming around to it.
Well, usually I'm the guy fixing the things that go wrong on a starship. I'm sure I can figure out a way to break it.
You may even find you like destroying things.
This plan of yours has one problem. It strands us. Left out of the fight when there is a war going on.
Our fight is here, now. This is how we do the most good. For the Empire.
For the Empire.
Das Imperium. Lach mal nicht zu früh.
I thought you'd escaped when we boarded. I'd almost hoped you'd made it off. And Millie's there with you too, right? It's good you two are together.
Ach, hier könnte ich jetzt tatsächlich auch Schweigen auswählen. Was in seltenen Fällen hier in diesem Spiel eine Option ist. Ich hatte es schon mal an einer oder anderen Stelle erwähnt, dass bei früheren, ich muss es mal wieder sagen, Telltale-Style Spielen, man automatisch die Option still gewählt hat. Immer, wenn die Zeit abgelaufen ist. Hier hat man ja sozusagen gar keinen Zeitdruck in dem Spiel, was Vor- und Nachteile hat. Zumindest konnten sie sich diese Silence-Option, die wir jetzt hier einmalig, soweit ich weiß, bisher drin haben, diese zusätzliche Option in den Dialogen sparen oder in dem, was passieren wird. Wir fragen mal keck, vermisst du mich?
Sounds like you miss me.
Miranda might have. She was so hopeful about you. But that's not why I called. You're not a fighter. I know it. You know it. That's why you're hiding. Somewhere on this ship. But the Tacon Empire has so much to offer you.
Okay, jetzt will sie mich noch irgendwie anwerben. Ich habe jetzt, als ich auf den Kommunikator gedrückt habe, ach Mist, wahrscheinlich gab es die Ruhigsein-Option, weil sie uns jetzt orten können, aber vielleicht ist das auch nicht so. Obwohl es müsste eigentlich so sein bei der fortgeschrittenen Technologie des Tacon-Imperiums. Na gut, warten wir mal ab.
Think of all the knowledge lost for 500,000 years that you'd have access to. I know you want more from life, and I want to show you what you could be a part of. Not just the wonders you've already seen from us. In our time, we had the power to move stars. Carter, you have a thirst for discovery.
You know what you're doing. Miranda, we can help you, but you have to fight.
Miranda is a part of us now. She's accepted that.
You're lying.
I have no reason to lie. Every one of us on this crusade has fought wars more brutal and consuming than you could fathom. But I want to reach a peaceful resolution to this. Carter, we have a plan for you. And for the others, too. We don't want to have to destroy you.
Ja, ich könnte stur sein. Ich könnte sagen, ich verhandle nur mit Miranda. Und was ist der Plan? Was ist der Plan?
What's this plan you have? Is it the one where you steal our bodies and erase our minds?
That's a simplistic view of it. Your memories would live on within us. We can continue this conversation in person. I'll see you on the bridge very soon.
Her comm badges. She's tracking our location with them.
If we have to use force to free our fellow Scions, there will be casualties.
We can't stay here. And we need to disable the transmitters.
Where'd you go? You don't want to talk to me?
She's trying to keep you talking.
I mean, I get it. But I'm trying to help you. You're still there. I think that's because you know we have something to offer you. And you're starting to do the math. And realizing that making peace with us is better than the alternative.
You might think you have the upper hand, but you've never gone up against the Federation. This isn't over.
So, einmal kaputt machen, bitte. Hä?
Got it.
Einmal mit dem Fingernagel drüber gekratzt.
Time to hit the road.
You've forgotten something.
Ja, und was wir möglicherweise vergessen haben, werden wir sehen. Und genauso wie es weitergeht, aber erst in der nächsten Folge. Bis hier bedanke ich mich recht herzlich für eure Aufmerksamkeit und sage bis zum nächsten Mal. Auf Wiedersehen.